Good morning, friends, and happy Vlogtober Day 3. It is Sunday, October 3rd, and man, I've been go for the last few weeks, and I'm also going to be finishing up another video in this one, so you guys probably see this again. But I am yet to unpack all of my decor from Delaney Joe's wedding. If you're interested in that series, I will link the playlist below. But I brought in some of my totes. I have my coffee. Look how cute this Stetson cup is. If y'all don't know what Stetson is, it's a hat brand, and I actually thrifted this for 99 cents last year. Love this cup. But the reason I have a Christmas cup out when I'm unboxing wedding decor in October is because I'm actually going to go through and organize my totes. I'm going to pull out what is going to go to the store for Christmas. I'm going to pull out what's going to stay in my house for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and then what needs to be packed away for next spring. So here we go. So before I get into any actual unboxing, first of all, it's still very hot. If you don't know, I make my coffee in a camp style percolator, and that thing, it comes out hot. But other than that, the first thing is actually not something I needed to unbox. This was just packed on top of one of my totes in the truck and thankfully survived, but she was kind enough to let Missy Mo have her Flower Girl basket. So here's a close-up of what the Flower Girl baskets from the wedding look like. They're made out of like a traditional like roping rope, like a competition style rope, not like nautical rope, for all you crafters who know the difference. But I wanted to play around with it and see if we couldn't do something sweet for Thanksgiving for Missy's room. Kind of a fun idea. The rest of our house will be taking on a very cold, frosted Thanksgiving, but Missy specifically wanted the very bright, fun fall colors still, and her room's only going to be Thanksgiving-y for like a week because after her birthday, she wants it to be Christmas. So that's what we're going to do. So I thought this was so cute. I literally took the greenery that had been on the side, took off the big white bow, added some pumpkins and some little corn picks, and like that's very Thanksgiving-y, very harvesty. So this is just like, it just shows baskets can be reused for every single season. And this is why having good baskets is a great feature piece. So that's the first thing. And next I'm going to open a tote. I have not opened this in like a week now. Oh yeah, she's a mess. So hopefully I don't knock anything over. I'm going to go through though the things that I saved because I didn't film packing the totes because we were just trying to get out of there. So the first thing I saved, and I decided to save this while I was there, is all of our turquoise tulle. Now I did throw away a lot of it because tulle is one of those things, once you hot glue it, staple it, it just kind of gets damaged. You don't want to keep it. I actually kept all of this tulle though for a very specific reason. One of the trees we're going to be doing at Circle S is going to be a turquoise tree, and why buy new when you can reuse? So I'm going to use this as my tree filler because it's going to be an artificial tree, and we haven't bought it yet, but we're probably going to buy a thrifted one, so I'm expecting it to be sparse, because I'm not trying to spend more than $15 on something that's, you know, like we're going to pack it full of ornaments and things for sale. But we want the little pops of pine. So I'm going to stuff the inside of it with all this to really just bring out the turquoise. So what a great way to reuse. Now I mentioned before in the video where I hauled all this, I got all of it on clearance, but even still the turquoise tulle was about a $60 investment. And obviously I had to throw away a lot of it. But if I can make the most bang for my buck out of this, I absolutely will. And also, in case you didn't know, fun fact, the largest waste type in landfills worldwide is actually fabric. A lot of people are surprised to hear that. You'd think it'd be plastic. Plastic somehow ends up everywhere but the landfill. But fabrics are really hard to recycle, and so anytime you can reuse, I recommend doing that. So we're going to give this some new life in some Christmas decor. So we're going to put that in the, oh man, this is going to get messy really fast. We're going to put that in the Christmas pile. Now the next things, I literally have entire bouquets in here, so I'm going to have to deconstruct my bouquets. That's okay. We knew that was going to happen. So these actually packed really, really well. We also have some random greenery going on. I'm not even sure what this greenery is from, to be honest with you. I think this was something else's centerpiece. I'm going to go through all of my greenery and organize that. So we're going to make a pile of what needs to be separated. I'm also going to make a pile of bouquets so I can go ahead and take these apart and pack them away. Now, you'll notice there's some dried baby's breath in there. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to actually separate my dried baby's breath and maybe use it. I want to do some dried floral Christmas ornaments because that's very, very popular, very boho, very chic. This would be really fun for that. So I'm going to see if I can deconstruct these without making a huge mess. And then I actually packed all my glass jars by literally wrapping them in flowers and tulle. So a bunch of my big jars are going to be in here. And we're going to try to separate these guys out. But I'm actually going to use these for my Halloween decor. I know I'm so behind on Halloween decor, but it is what it is. So I think for now I'm going to try to put all of my bouquets in one of these jars. Next up, next up we have all of our little galvanized jars. These guys are great for year-round decor, so I'm just going to put these out with my neutral or find homes for them. But I actually might take some of them to the store to hold some of our smaller little wood knick-knacky ornaments if we don't put them all out on the trees. We have another bouquet and we have more greenery. So, and then we have yet another big jar, but this one has pine cones and pumpkins in it. So I'm going to set these down with my big glass jars as well. And we'll take apart and organize our pine cones because I'm going to be using a ton of pine cones for ornaments. So I definitely need to get all of those in check. Let me go digging and see if I can find anything else good. Okay, other things that I'm separating aside, I have all of my turquoise and blue and silver fall pumpkins. And as I've said before, I'm going to be heavily using these in my Thanksgiving decor for my frosted harvest. So I definitely do not want to pack those guys away. So I'm just going to add them to my great pumpkin collection I got going here behind me. Oop. And because I'm going to do a fall tree in my house that's packed with blue leaf florals, white leaf florals, very cold feeling, I think I'm also going to pull all of my dark blue florals forward and not pack them away for next year to kind of see if I can use them or if I just need to pack them, but at least they'll already be out where I can use them. Okay, here's another one. So this was a really big arrangement. And I actually might use some of these kind of frosty ferns with my Christmas decor as well. So I'm going to hold these separate. But these white mums, I'm definitely going to be using in my fall tree. So I definitely do not want to accidentally pack away these cream colors. I think these are absolutely beautiful for fall. Obviously, they have the fall colored leaves. And so once we leave Halloween and we put up some Thanksgiving. I want to make sure I have these out. So I'm going to add these to my big fall pile way over there. Just like so. Okay, what is officially the messiest part of this is these were all in the centerpieces. We did a rosemary type sprig and a baby's breath, and I need to separate all of these. The rosemary very well might be getting used for Christmas, so I have to keep that separated. But the baby's breath, we're going to go ahead and retire until springtime. And it just dawned on me, you might be wondering, why are you planning to use rosemary with Christmas? It's because this does feel very similar to evergreen or pine, and if I need an additional filler to fill out a tree, that's a really good option. And because I already have it, like the color might be a little off, but I don't know if you guys have ever really looked into a pine tree. They're very rarely all just one solid color. There's a lot of variation, just like all things in nature. And so especially doing trees in the store where we really want to bring the fullness, especially if we're using trees that have been recycled or have been thrifted or were picked up secondhand or anything like that. Which no one's told me I have to do that, but I'd rather do that than buy a brand new one just because I know that the way we want to do the lights and everything else, I don't think I'm going to be able to find what I want in a store, and I don't really want to blow my entire decor budget on buying new fake Christmas trees when there's perfectly good ones that just need a little bit of extra love. So that's that. Now I will go ahead and just say this. My house, our main tree is always real. Just because we live in the mountains, they're easy to come by. But our room trees and a lot of my other trees are fake. And this year, I will just spill the tea here. I actually plan to switch out the one in Missy's room for a full-size 6-footer, and that's just because her tree is like very whimsical. It has all of her personal like little gifted ornaments and collections of ornaments and all the ribbons from her childhood trees and all that good stuff on it. And I just feel like the small tree, her 4.5-footer, is just not big enough. So I want to thrift her or get her a new big tree, which is kind of a surprise that she doesn't know is happening. But that way I will take her little tree from last year, and I'll either use that one in the store, or I might add that one to my outdoor display. So that's just kind of my thoughts there. I'd love to do a full-size tree in my room too, but it's just kind of small in here. I don't really have the room for it. And since I put my tree either on my desk or on a pedestal next to my chair where I'm sitting now, the 4-foot tree ends up being more like 6 foot anyway. So it fits. I don't really need to change it. I don't need to change it at all, so I probably won't. Unless I were to find a 6-foot pencil tree, then that would be different. But yeah, so I already knew that I wanted to do something big for her tree, and having some picks like that to help fill in her tree as well would be awesome. Now, she has always had a rainbow tree, and this year she wants kind of a more grown-up girl, because we're turning double digits. She wants a grown-up girl tree with white lights, and I love that. I think it's going to be so fun, but she still wants all of her same ornaments. So I think I'm also going to stuff her tree maybe with either some blue tulle or with white tulle. It just kind of depends, to really give it that glow from inside, or like the fake snow feeling. She wants a flock tree, but they're a huge mess, and I already make enough mess crafting. So I try to minimize the amount of messes that I'm the one cleaning up. So we'll see what happens. But that's the other reason why I love these rosemary style picks. When I saw these earlier this year, I automatically had a million uses for them. So we'll definitely be using these a lot this season. Found another great find. It's wrapped in this white tulle, which I'm not going to keep. I only wrapped it in this just to protect it during transport. But I don't think I ever really got to talk about this gigantic, it's not a cloche, but it's just like a really big vase. So the little one had the wax LED candle in it. That one was $4 at the thrift store while I was thrifting for the wedding. But this big behemoth, this one was $10. Now, normally I don't buy things that expensive at thrift stores, unless it's something really big like a Christmas tree. But the reason I got this one is it has a really wide mouth, and that's kind of rare. And a jar like this at a Hobby Lobby starts at $25 and goes up. So it's actually pretty hard to find ones like this. Now, it is currently filled with all sorts of things, treasures, if you will. Pretty much anything that I didn't want to lose but couldn't find a home for while packing up the wedding ended up in this jar. But look how big this is. I put 4 velvet pumpkins in this, and for Halloween I think I'm going to put this one out with this other one and put like little mini squashes in them. But how amazing! What a great thrifting find. So since a whole big feature of this video has been talking about how different types of floral can be reused for different seasons or events, from the wedding floral, I'm going to show you, other than the rosemary, what else can be repurposed for Christmas or other winter seasons that are coming up, versus what I will not be using and I will be packing. So first up, I talked about these Fern Picks. These are a kind of dustier, I guess it's not really showing, but you can kind of see there's like a little white glimmer almost to these. I feel like it's not showing because there's the light coming from behind it. Ferns are very popular in Christmas florals, so I'm actually going to hold out all of my Fern Picks like these. There's no guarantee that I'm going to use these, but I'm going to hold them anyway. So these are going to go into a different box. Now, these white wheatgrass and little white florals, while you could use these for Thanksgiving or Christmas, I'm not going to. So these are going to get packed away. But this could be really beautiful as the base to a cornucopia. And actually, now that I'm saying that, I think I am going to keep the wheatgrass, but not the white floral. So these like Edelweiss type flowers, we're going to go ahead and pack these as well. Christmas, I think it'd be really beautiful actually to do a white floral tree, especially with the baby's breath. It doesn't match my home decor, so personally it wouldn't work here, but if you did shabby chic, that'd be stunning. Now the other one that you could use that I personally won't be using is the Boxwood. Boxwood is very popular in Christmas floral. This has obviously been stretched out and spread apart, but you know, tucking things in like this or doing an entire garland with boxwood, because it's such a neutral evergreen, this also fits really nicely to Christmas. I personally won't be using it because it's not native where I live and just wouldn't match the rest of my decor, but definitely keep in mind if you see this on clearance, this can have many like year-round purposes, so don't sleep on boxwood. Okay. So I know this part kills people, but here's one of the wreaths I did for the wedding. Here, all the zip ties on the back. I actually forgot to cut the ends of these zip ties. But the benefits to having all of your own supply of materials is that you can reuse them over and over and over again for different seasons, holidays, events, decor, etc. Which is what will happen with all of these. But this is also why it's important if you're borrowing someone's stuff that you return it to them. Unfortunately, something I need for a very upcoming project, a bunch of my little tea candles are missing. They somehow did not make it back with me. It's not a huge deal. The ones I use for events look like fake candles like that one, but they're yay big, and unfortunately like 24 of them did not make it back. So that sucks because they're like $8 a box, but they're $8 a box, whatever. I'll just buy new ones. So I will say, if you are someone who is borrowing someone's materials, just make sure you return things that you personally did not pay for. But other than that, I'm going to go ahead and take apart all of this. I'm going to separate it into its new seasons and uses, and we're going to get ready for what needs to stay out for Thanksgiving decor and fall decor versus what needs to get put away for next spring. So my little rushes and things like that obviously are for fall. My white sunflowers are for Thanksgiving. Same with my blue leaves, all for Thanksgiving. But as for my really big picks, which I will show you in just a second, those will be put away for next spring. So these three, I have to straighten them all out, but these are all going to stay for my fall decor. And then I don't know how a pumpkin ended up on this one. We'll move this pumpkin to where she is supposed to be. But this really big one, this big pick, has normally yellow and purple flowers on it, and I will take all the heads off of this one that are not supposed to be there. So these turquoise sunflowers are a great example. These I don't believe I will be using in my Thanksgiving decor because I don't really use sunflowers. So I will go ahead and pack these away in my event decor box. But this will be packed away into a spring box. So we will continue. Okay, so while going through my boxes, I pulled out this one, which I've taken the pumpkins off, but I'm actually going to keep all the floral, and because we have another deer head now where this one used to be, we are going to go ahead and put this in my stepdaughter's room, and this will be her own personal hat rack. So that's going to be really, really fun, and I'm sure she's going to be really excited. So stay tuned. We'll probably be putting this up, and I'll show you guys some of the touches I've done to her room for Halloween in a future video. But just know it's super cute right now, and this matches her year-round vibe, so these flowers will just stay up year-round. And I forgot to film an outro, but thanks so much, and I will see you guys tomorrow for yet another episode of VlogTober. Thanks for watching.